Hey, I think I got it recording now. It is.
Oh yeah, yep, it says recording.
Yeah, I had to click it. It wasn't automatically.
Oh yeah, I didn't know if I'd say, like, sometimes I automatically just have our class to it, but I was like, I don't think I did that with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So I should be good. So you want me to do it to the private page?
And then, yeah, we might as well. That way people might be like, oh yeah, it's 2:00, and then they can hop on.
Okay.
And yeah.
Hey, Barry.
I thought some people were gonna be on live.
I did too. That's okay.
That way, I guess you just get to talk to yourself for 2
hours. I'm gonna make Casey help me. So
good. That's what I was telling him. I was like, I feel like it'd be more fun if you're like together, like just showing real, like, how you really do it, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, if I really do it, I make him do it all. So
you should be cooking with Casey.
Should be. Absolutely should be.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay. Well, do you have it set up to the?
I'm doing the Facebook right now.
Okay, and then we'll
get started here.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people who were messaging, or at least signed up for it. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, my mom had mentioned she was gonna try and check it out, but I feel like the weather is hurting us because it's so nice out.
Yeah. And it's so nice, I know, to be like, 2:00, or I could be outside. I know, and the weather this coming week isn't going to be, I feel like, as warm.
Yeah.
It's like super as it's been, so that was too.
Okay. It looks like it's on the Facebook page too.
Okay.
Sweet. I got to find the regular Zoom one so I don't, there we go.
Yeah, so that way that'll be there, and then it should stay on there, but then that way we can record it here, and then we can do
both options
with it. Yep.
Yeah. Can you see it on the Facebook page yet? I want to make sure.
See. And it's always a little bit delayed too from whatever's live on.
No, I think it's our kitchen is dark.
Okay, let's see.
I got like a weird window light going. I'll make it work. I'm turning this light on. Lighten up the stove.
Like annual.
I don't see it on the Facebook page yet. Okay.
No, I don't see it yet. Let's see. Oh wait, maybe shit.
Hang on. I think I didn't hit the last button I was supposed to.
Oh yeah, and then there's like something on Facebook, that it will tell you to create a title or something.
You've been crushing it, dude.
Because then you should see it where it says recording on Zoom. It will also say live on Facebook or live on YouTube. Oh, now it is. Yep.
Okay, it's going.
Yep.
Okay. Sweet.
Good to go.
Oh yeah, now I see it there.
Okay.
Sweet. That's
All
Casey's
right.
changing Thea's diaper.
You're live. Wash your hands.
What's it doing? Hang on. Something weird. It's flashing on mine.
Oh, it is? On your...
There we go. I think it's just because I had both of them going.
Oh, yeah, at once. All right.
No naked babies in the kitchen.
That's right.
All right. Well, hopefully people join. If not, I'll just talk to myself. That's
okay. Should be good.
All right. See ya.
All right. See ya.
All right. We are going to start. Welcome to meal prep and diaper changing in the background. Seriously. So today what we're going to do some meal prep, and this is just to get ready some things to have on hand for the week as you are cooking some meals, some stuff just to kind of grab and go. We are going to do, get my list. We're going to do hard-boiled eggs, which we are going to use 1 for snacks, and then 2 I'm going to make some tuna salad. We're going to make rice. I also put on there you can make quinoa if you prefer that. That is going to be for the egg roll in a bowl recipe that we shared. You can also use it for lunches and dinners throughout the week with some of the veggies and meat and things like that. And then we're also going to prepare vegetables. So whatever veggies you have on hand, I'll show you what we've got here in just a minute. Then we're going to make breakfast cookies and tuna salad. And then depending on time, we might make a dip. So for snacks. Got a lot going on back here. So what we're going to do, we're going to get started with some hard-boiled eggs, and I know not everybody loves eggs, but they're nice for me. Like I like to have them on hand just to use for snacks. I actually eat them a lot for lunch. Just making sure none of you are on Facebook Live here. So I like to eat them for lunch with a little bit of, I use the spicy mayo, and there's just a nice filling protein. So I've got my helper. Casey's gonna help us today because, to be honest, he's the cook in our family. So we grab the eggs. If you have a helper, grab a helper. It's always easier with an extra set of hands. For our hard-boiled eggs, we've kind of, I think, got it down to a science. Casey and I both like our hard-boiled eggs with the yolk still pretty soft. So we use the smallest saucepan we have, and go ahead and put your eggs in there. I had an egg explode in here, so some of them are kind of slimy from egg whites. So I'm going to do, oh, like it broke. I think that's all that's going to fit. So I've just got them in the bottom, and I have Casey fill up the pan. You just want the water over the top of the egg, so you don't need to fill it all the way up. Actually, you want it to boil as quickly as possible, especially if you like the super soft yolk like we do. So you don't want a huge pan, because we have found that if we use the really big pan or a deeper saucepan, it takes too long to boil and the yolks cook too much. So once you've got, I don't know if you can see it, like it's literally just barely, there's no good way to show you, barely over the top of the eggs. And then put it on high. And we are going to leave that uncovered. And you're going to bring that to a boil. And then as soon as it boils, we are going to cover it, take it off the heat, cover it, and let it sit. And this is where it depends on how you like your eggs. You can let it sit 5 minutes for like super soft yolks, all the way to, you could probably leave it 10 minutes if you wanted it, if you like them really well cooked. I don't like when they get the like gray and they get kind of chalky. It's not my style. So we usually do 6 minutes. So we're gonna let those get going. And while we wait for those, we're gonna go ahead and start the rice. I'm gonna get out rice, and then we have chicken stock. We're gonna cook our rice with chicken stock. You can use water, which is fine. I just feel like the chicken stock gives it some extra flavor. So I'm gonna grab my rice. You should have had that one. So I'll just kind of show you what I use. There's, you know, whatever kind you like. We use the long grain brown rice. And you need another saucepan. And the rice and the quinoa are nice to have on hand because they last. You can keep them in the fridge all week, and they're not gonna go bad, and they can be added into all sorts of different recipes. So for this one, it's a cup and 2 cups. Yep. So we're gonna do a cup of rice and 2 cups of chicken stock, which there might not be enough chicken stock in there. You can always mix too, like half chicken stock, half water. You know, just went potty. Kids going potty. Okay, so we've got our rice. Again, chicken stock, I get my chicken stock at Costco because we use it to cook our rice and quinoa every week. We go through it pretty quickly. So we're gonna do 2 cups. We're gonna let this stuff cook, and then we'll start chopping up veggies. There's literally like a splash. Yeah. And actually, speaking of the splash that's in here, we use this when I reheat my rice. I'll put it in a bowl and put a little bit more chicken stock in it to reheat it, so it just kind of helps it not get so dry and sticky. Okay, so we are gonna cook this. You need to bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna simmer it. One of our eggs is chirping at us. Sounds disturbing. Okay, so those are good. So now we're gonna move on to getting veggies ready. Do you wanna grab just whatever you wanna cook today? So usually when we do our veggies, we almost always do broccoli and cauliflower. We're gonna do some onion because we have some left over. We've got zucchini in there. I don't always love zucchini in mine because it gets kind of soggy. Mushrooms is another good one, and then potatoes. but really whatever vegetables you have on hand, peppers, whatever you like, whatever you're gonna eat, that's what you want to go to. The cooked vegetables are great for salad. If you wanna make a big salad during the week for lunch or dinner, put them on your rice bowl. You know, it's just nice to have it as a side option for dinner. You can quickly heat it up, add some different seasonings or add some different stuff into it. And then you've got a quick meal. We've got all sorts of stuff here. We have a rabbit in the house. That's Casey. So we are gonna cook a lot of vegetables. I'm actually gonna get 2 pans out because we go through it so quickly. So we're gonna do lots. Our eggs are, yeah, one of our eggs has a crack in it, but our eggs are getting close to boiling. So make sure if you are cooking your eggs right now, keep an eye on them because once they start boiling, you want to get them off the heat pretty quickly. So, all right, so we got cauliflower. We actually got it in the bag. We don't usually, but for some reason they have not had. You want to start cutting some of that? So they don't have to watch us cut forever. They haven't had cauliflower. We get our, okay, we get our produce. We do green bean delivery, and then also I need the butter. Almost forgot the butter. That's the best part. We get ours from Green Bean Delivery and then also Imperfect. If you haven't checked out either of those, I highly recommend them, especially Imperfect. They have cheaper produce because it's all the funny shaped produce. And so we get that delivered. And right now, since we're not wanting to go to the store, we're having them both delivered each week. Usually we rotate back and forth every other week. But they've been out of like heads of cauliflower, so they've been doing bags, which works, but sometimes those go bad quickly. So we gotta cook them. All right. I like lots of butter on mine. I know it's not super healthy, but it makes it delicious and I'm more likely to eat it. All right, we got cauliflower. I'm gonna have you do we had Swiss chard in our order this week. Watch that burner. And it was almost wilty when we got it, so we needed to cook it right away. So I'm gonna have you do that in the zucchini because I feel like those are gonna cook less time than the rest of them. That way we can take a pan out. And I'm just kind of making these smaller. Let me move this. You don't need to see my head as much. So for my cauliflower, if you like cauliflower, I didn't love cauliflower until we started roasting it. And I like it smaller so it gets cooked better and you just kind of chop it up a little bit. It's going. Go, keep going. Those are all pretty good. All right, then we've got our broccoli. I'm gonna go ahead and put the onions in there right here. Okay. Leave the onions to him. Broccoli, kind of the same thing as the cauliflower. If you did peppers, green peppers, whatever, you would probably want those in there too, because I feel like those can get mushy.
What?
From peppers.
I didn't have any peppers.
No, I know. I'm saying if they
Yeah.
did, I just dropped some broccoli on the floor. I am not a fan of peppers mixed in with vegetables because then that's all I taste. But some people love peppers. So, and especially if you were going to do like fajitas later in the week or some sort of dish where you want peppers, it'd be good to go ahead and cook them. Our eggs are getting really close.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you start, and it doesn't have to be a what is it called?
Rolling.
Thank you. I was going to say roaring, and I knew that
Could be a
was
roaring boil as well.
not that. I was thinking animals. We were outside making animal obstacle courses with Theo. A rolling boil. I just, as soon as it starts to bubble at all, like it's about to, I go ahead and take it off the heat and put a lid on it. I'm going to do that in just a second. Actually, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let me grab. So pull it off the heat. Just cover it, and we're going to set a timer for 6 minutes. Don't touch the hot thing. And our rice is getting close too, so we're going to keep an eye on that. And while we're cutting, I'm going to just check on our Facebook page, see if anybody's watching live on Facebook so I don't miss you guys. Don't want to ignore anyone. Too many devices open. There we go. Good to go. All right. Okay. Don't ignore anybody. So here we go. We're going to get this broccoli cut. And again, just whatever you're going to want to eat that week. Broccoli isn't my favorite. Casey really likes it. Willow really likes it raw. She only eats her vegetables raw. So we always save some for her. All right. Our rice is boiling now, so we're gonna take that and just turn it down. And I need a big spoon. This is why it's nice to have an extra helper, because then I can check on all this stuff. Try not to burn too much and still keep cutting at the same time. All right. Can we do all the broccoli? You want me to save some?
I could do all of it.
I think I mentioned when Sarah was on here briefly. Casey is our cook, so I always have to check with him. He knows what's up. He's got a game plan for the week. We got in a really good habit of meal prepping, and then when we started staying home, we kind of stopped. I think because we were both here and could cook whatever we wanted and couldn't go to the store, and I don't know. Life was crazy. All right. I will get this finished cutting. And then the other thing I'm going to add in here is our mushrooms. And don't worry if your pan, like mine is getting really full. It will cook down a lot. So fill it up. And then as you're cutting, think about what seasonings you might want on here, what you might use these for. Or if you're just going to use it, like we'll probably use all of ours for side dishes and then salads and stuff for lunches. So we'll probably just put some basic seasonings, but if you were going to use it for a certain dish, you could season it with that when you cook it. It'll smell like broccoli for the rest of the day. Yes, we're saving some. Oh, I thought you were saving a few pieces. Both our kids like raw zucchini too. They're weird. I don't know where they came from. Very strange children, those two. All right. What? Yeah, well, she'll eat it. He'll eat it. Okay, so the mushrooms in pretty big pieces since they cook down. I'm gonna just do them in fourths because these are pretty big mushrooms. If you have smaller ones, you could keep them whole or just half them, because I don't want them to disappear while we're cooking everything else. I forgot we preheat the oven.
Yep.
So for cooking your vegetables, it really depends on how long you want to put them in there. I like to do lower. Casey likes to cook them at a higher temperature. So if he's got it set at 425, I would have cooked it at 375. So there's no wrong or right answer. Just pick a temperature. Just make sure you can keep an eye on it.
It matters how much you
Stuff.
want them to be cooked down and how much stuff you have.
Right. Yeah, and as you're prepping them and cooking them, think about when you're using them, if you're going to use them in another recipe that's going to cook them, don't cook them all the way when you're prepping them. That way they're not super mushy. Where'd the other mushroom go? In your recipe.
The higher the temperature, the less you're going to cook them. They're not going to be as mushy. So lower temperature, you actually end up cooking it longer and it'll be a little mushier.
Yeah, like he said. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil. Again, we just use the Kirkland's. We get most of our stuff at Costco. I always feel like I'm going to spill too much. Good. And then will you hand me the salt and the seasoning? So our favorite seasonings, plain salt, sea salt. The lighting is weird. And then the everything bagel spice. Again, we get this at Costco, although a lot of times it's hard to find there. So they always have it at Trader Joe's. I'm sure they have it at like regular Kroger grocery stores too, but those are the two places I tend to find it. I like it because it's got a nice garlic. It's got a little bit of everything in it. So season it up a little bit. And we'll get those in the oven. I'll check on that rice. I think it's too high. Yeah, we turn it down a little. So you don't want your rice boiling too much. All right. I'm not even gonna stir that. Just gonna leave it. Okay, those are ready. Here we go. It's up to you.
Let's just leave it.
Okay. Seasoning debates. Let's put on there. I'm gonna clear this stuff out so it's kind of nice. And this is gonna be perfect timing. As you're cooking, try to kind of clean things out of the way as you don't need them, just so you have some space. That is our eggs. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna have you grab the computer real quick. So I'm gonna take our eggs over to the sink. One of them cracked. Just so you can see, I just quickly dumped out. I can look in here. Ignore this. I was cooking crepes this morning. So I just kind of fill it up with cold water, dump it out. You want your eggs to get cool to the touch as quickly as possible. That stops your cooking so they don't get overcooked and gross. So I do it a couple times and then I just let them sit, like they're getting pretty cool to the touch. Once that pan gets cool, don't touch that pan. Then you're probably good. One more. And then I'm just gonna let it fill up and sit in the sink in the cold water until we need them, and then the rest of them I'll just store in the fridge. Okay, you can take it back over there. Thank you, sir.
Here. Check on it.
Okay, let's get this situated. Sorry, the lighting is funny. We got the bright sunshine. It's really dark. Hopefully you guys can see us okay. Got kids screaming in the background. There we go. Hopefully there you can see us a little bit better. So I'm just gonna get some of this stuff out of the way and then we are gonna move on to the next step. The kids are watching Sleeping Beauty. They've never seen it before. I don't think it's gonna hold their attention. So we'll see, they may end up in here bugging us. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is cook our meat. And we have ground pork. So the meat on the recipe list I sent with information, it said 2 pounds. So what that was for, one of the pounds is for the egg roll in a bowl. Forgot what recipe I sent. And then the other one is just extra for you to have. So you only need 1 of the pounds for the recipe. And then the other one is to use with the roasted vegetables we just made, salad, rice. So that's just good stuff to keep on hand in the refrigerator. So when you're in a hurry and you need a meal, you have something quick you can just grab and heat up real quickly, or even eat it cold if you don't want it heated up, that's fine too. So we're gonna brown the pork. We have ground pork, but you could use pork, beef, turkey, chicken, whatever meat you prefer. And we're just doing a pound right now because that's just what we had out. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get started browning that. And again, with spices, think about what you're gonna be using it for. If you have multiple recipes that you're gonna use the meat for, you could keep it plain and then season it while you're cooking with the recipe. Or if you just like basic spices, seasonings. Sorry, the lighting is changing as the sun comes in and out of the clouds. You could do it that way. So I'm gonna let him get started with that. How's the rice?
We'll do that.
You have to almost turn it down like completely. Will you stir it with that spoon?
Mhm.
And we're gonna start on the cookies. So we're making breakfast cookies. And I really like these. They're made out of oat. And they have protein powder in them. And they give me some carbs, which we are low carb eaters at this house, not like on purpose, but we're gluten-free. So there's not a lot of, like, we don't do sandwiches and things like that. So we don't get a lot of the carbs. So this helps me on high carb days. They're filling. And then I add protein powder to the recipe just to get some protein at breakfast as well. Plus there's chocolate chip cookies in them, which is always a great way to start the day. So we are gonna get that going. Let me pull up the recipe, grab a few ingredients, and I'm gonna let Casey cook the meat, get started on that while I grab everything I need. Feel free to talk.
I'm just waiting for the pan to get hot. Right now it's not hot enough. And before you put the meat in, you want a hot pan.
Hot pan.
And then with Ground beef, you don't need to usually add any kind of anything to the pan. With ground pork, you have to add a little bit of fat into the pan in order to keep it from sticking. If you're using stainless steel, because it sticks.
All right, so I'm grabbing some stuff that we're gonna need for our cookies. We've got two computers going, one with Rusty and one with you guys. Let's put it over here so I can see both. So we need old-fashioned oats. We like Bob's Red Mill, but there's whatever brand you'd like. And then we're actually gonna grind our own oat flour just with a food processor. You can buy oat flour, but you don't use it quick enough to go through it, and it's just easier. So I'll show you how to do that. We're gonna need baking soda, salt, butter, honey, making sure I have everything. Applesauce, which I always forget to buy applesauce, so we are using, don't tell my son, I stole some of his pouches, but they're just plain applesauce pouches, so they'll work. Protein powder. Again, we get our protein powder at Costco because that's how we roll, so that's the kind we have, but whatever kind you have is great. Oh, and you could do, I use vanilla, but I feel like chocolate would be good too. So whatever flavor you have is totally fine. Or I know some places have like that birthday cake flavor protein powder. That would be good. So whatever you have would be good in there. And then chocolate chips. Mini chocolate.
Not the creamsicle protein powder.
There's creamsicle. Ooh, that's gross. Don't eat that. So what was I saying? Oh, mini chocolate chips. You don't have to put those in there. You could add, you know, raisins or some sort of dried fruit if you wanted to keep the sugar out of there. And I don't have mini chocolate chips. I just have regular ones. I do like the mini ones better. They just mix in a little bit better with the recipe. So let me get our stuff going. We are gonna need to make our oat flour. So we need 1.5 cups, and I'm just gonna show you, you could use a big food processor. We're gonna use, we have like a teeny tiny one that goes with our, it's called immersion blender. So it's got a different attachment. So we're gonna use that just because it's less stuff I have to get out. So we need our measuring cups. First of all, our measuring cups are dirty. I didn't think about that. What is this? I don't want that. Chicken stock. Last week I made crepes for the first time, and the kids liked them so much they decided that every Sunday I needed to make crepes. And they're actually really easy to make, so I'll have to share that recipe with you guys. But it uses a lot of the measuring spoons. Okay, we're gonna start with this. I'm gonna mix this up. So with your oat flour, if you are making it yourself, it's super, super easy. Just put it in a food processor. You could probably use a blender if you don't have a food processor. And we are gonna just blend it up for a second. So hang on, it's gonna get loud. All right, let's see how this looks. So it's up to you how fine you want it. I don't know if you can see that. Let me grab a spoon. So it's still pretty, like it's not super, super fine. There you go. But it'll work fine like that. So if you want to blend it longer and get it really, really fine, you can do that. But this is about the consistency that I keep mine, and it tends to work fine for this recipe. Let me get this stuff out of the way. With these cookies, I sometimes double the recipe because they freeze really well. So then I only have to make them once every few weeks.
And if you have kids, they want to eat them.
Right. So I'll make a batch for myself, and then they eat them all. And so if you double it, I just don't have enough of everything today to double it. So we're just gonna do that one recipe. So you need a big bowl, and you guys can follow the recipe, but I'm just going to show you how we do this. You need 1.5 cups, but I only have 1/2 cup. The stuff's all, yeah, salt's right in front of me. I was a little short on the flour. Let's start over. Yes, buddy. All right, so we're gonna get all of our dry ingredients together. I really need to just wash my measuring cup. Okay, so you get your dry ingredients. Okay, so you grab the baking soda.
Yeah.
You got our oats and our oat flour, the salt. Okay, yeah, the chocolate chips too. Thank you. How much baking soda do I need? Hot here without oven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got all our stuff in there. I'm gonna mix that up. And like I was saying, these freeze really well. So what I'll do is I'll just leave a few of them, and I leave them in the fridge. That way I don't have to worry about them going bad. And then the rest of them I just put in a container in the freezer. And when I'm ready to eat it, I take it out of the freezer and stick it in the microwave for 20 or 30 seconds. And it's really good that way. So that way you can store them and double that recipe. Okay, so after you've stirred it all up, you just make a little well in the middle of your recipe there, or in the dry ingredients. And we need oil, but why is that not in the recipe? It says oil. Oh, I think I changed it out for butter. So the recipe calls for oil. We just like using butter better. So I'm gonna melt some butter. Can you grab me another stick of butter? So we're gonna use butter instead. What are they fighting about? Children fighting.
We pulled our couch apart.
Excellent. The couch is blown apart. Fine. Whatever. Nobody's screaming, so it must be fine. All right. So I'm going to do 5 tablespoons of butter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to melt it real quick. So if you wanted to use oil instead, you could do that.
Do you need any more eggs?
I don't think for this one. Okay. Hang on, my butter's not coming out. Thank you, sir. 5 tablespoons of honey. So for the tablespoons, you can measure it, but a tablespoon is just kind of a big squirt of honey. And then I don't have to measure it. 1/2 cup of peanut butter? Oh, applesauce. Why can I not read? What is wrong here? Okay. We're scaling the applesauce pouches. You know what I did not do? I did not put the protein powder in with the dry ingredients. I always forget about that. So if you have your protein powder, you can mix it with your dry ingredients. If you forgot like I did, just wait to the end.
Don't overcook your butter in the microwave. That's explosion.
We'll just,
I'm not
he
doing
never puts a napkin on top and it makes a mess. Hey, Theo. Theo, come here. Come here, I have something for you.
snack time.
All right, so then our applesauce goes in here. He's gonna get the rest of his pouch. Do you want the rest of your pouch? Mine has a pouch for you. Look, right here.
Yeah.
Closing all the cabinet doors for us. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Want a pouch?
We're gonna have a pouch. Careful, the oven's hot. We're gonna put our butter, mix it up. What you doing, boo-boo? I know, mommy's got all the computers out right now. Look at that, it's hot. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna mix this up. Got our butter, everything's in there. And once you kind of start getting it mixed up, if you forgot that protein powder at the beginning, Go ahead and throw that in. What, baby? I know, I gotta plug this in now. I don't want it to die. Theo, you're right in my way. There's Theo down here. Say hi. Hi. Theo likes to help cook, but there's too much up here and too much hot right now. How's our rice?
In there.
Okay. So this dough will be pretty thick. It's not a very wet dough, as you can see here. What do you need help with, love? So there we go. See, it's still, I mean, it's still kind of crumbly. Can I talk? What's going on there? Oh, this little booty's hanging out over here. And then that's when you would add your chocolate chips, or like I said, if you wanted to do raisins or cranberries or anything like that, you could do that instead. I'm gonna stick with the chocolate. What?
You don't need to itch my butt.
Don't itch his butt and then cook, please. And when you put these on, I cook these with parchment paper just so I don't have to worry about them sticking. They don't spread very much, so you can keep them pretty close together on your pan. We have our oven set way too hot right now. So I'm gonna just stick this dough in the refrigerator and cook it later, which this dough does really well in the refrigerator. So I'll probably cook them tonight or even in the morning. That way it's all ready to go. And like I said, once they're done, they only cook, for a little bit. You can store them in the refrigerator, or like I said, if you have extra and you don't want to eat them all at one time, or maybe you only want them on your high carb days, then you could store the rest in your freezer and just pop them in the microwave when you're ready to eat them. So I'm going to get this out of the way. There's room in the fridge. Our pork is almost done. When that gets done, we're actually using it tonight whenever we're eating. So I don't know what his plan is. What is your plan for the pork?
Tacos.
So we're gonna do tacos. So he may put some taco seasoning on it when it's done. And I'm gonna take just a second and kind of get some stuff out of the way. And then I'm gonna make tuna salad. Excuse me, sir. You little stinker. Close my computer with my recipes. Tuna salad, I don't really need a recipe. So I'm gonna make tuna salad. I also put on there you can make chicken salad because I know some people don't like tuna. So I will show you how I make my tuna salad. Thank you. And then that's another good, easy, quick lunch or dinner if you need something fast, and that would be good on top of the salad or on top of the rice or on a sandwich or crackers. Thank you. And then using the rice and vegetables as a side dish. So this gives you lots of options for the week. I'm going to put you down. I'm going to make something, okay? Yeah. I'm going to give you a pickle in just a minute. You want a pickle? Yeah, he loves pickles. So let me get some of this out of our way and we will get going. Let me move this knife, please. Can you throw that in the trash? Yeah. Sure, thank you. All right, what do we need for our tuna salad, mister? Can you tell me what you're doing with the...
Sure, I just added the seasoning in with the pork and making sure Theo's not grabbing a knife. And then...
Hang on, do you want me to double the tuna salad? Do you want some tuna salad?
Yeah, double the tuna salad. They can't see you. You want to say hi?
Hi.
What are you doing in the other room? Nothing. Do you usually cook with me?
Yeah.
What do you like doing?
Okay, strawberry.
Yeah, you like cutting strawberries. What else?
Creepy.
Yeah. You make crepes. You like eating crepes. What else?
Beans?
Beans? All right.
That's a lie.
Yeah, does not eat beans.
He eats peas.
Peas.
Okay. You know what we need to get out? We need to get out. We need to get out pickles. Okay. And some mayonnaise. If you have little ones in the house, it's always nice to involve them in the cooking because then they're more likely to eat it. All right. What are you doing with the towel? Okay. Thank you. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move this sharp stuff. Okay, so for our tuna salad, do we have any big containers? All of our Tupperwares in the, we're gonna make that work, in the dishwasher. So for my tuna, I use the hard-boiled eggs. I'm doing 2 cans of tuna. We're gonna double it because Casey, I, and Willa both really like tuna salad, so it goes pretty quickly.
You could use chicken for that same
Right,
recipe.
yeah, if you had, if you wanted to do a chicken salad, you could either, if you had cooked chicken already, or, you know, I know they do canned chicken, right?
Yeah. Or if you're really weird like me, I like canned salmon. Yeah,
Yes.
I get that, and I use the same recipe for canned salmon. It works really well.
There you go, lots of options. So whatever your preference is, can I use this?
Yeah.
So I just kind of break it up. Theo is playing with the remotes. Theo, don't mess with the remotes,
You
buddy.
can't be putting with the most.
The volume sounds funny.
I think it just got loud.
Who knows?
That's fun.
Okay, so our pork is done. After I get this can in there, I'm gonna check on our rice. This is why it's nice to have an extra set of hands, because we have been doing this, maybe we started at 2, but I don't think we really started at 2. So we're not even 45 minutes in, and we have tons of stuff going, a lot of stuff done already. We're getting close on the veggies. Our rice is getting close. I already have these over here. The rest of them are just for eating. I'm gonna turn our rice up a little bit. It got too low.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have somebody else in the house who can help you, it's always nice to be able to kind of do these 2 things, because doing this by myself, I don't know that I'd be able to get it all done at the same time and not burn everything. So. Okay, so I know there's a recipe for the tuna salad on the information that was sent out about this. I don't remember what's on the recipe exactly, but it's pretty close to this. This is just how I make it every time. And I made that tuna salad recipe, so I know it's pretty close. So I just break up the tuna. And again, like Casey said, you could do chicken, salmon, whatever, if you don't like tuna. And then we're gonna cut up some pickles, or if you wanted to use relish. My kids are both obsessed with, grab me another fork and knife. They're both obsessed with dill pickles. So we do dill. You want to peel those eggs while I cut?
Yep.
Just throw the peel in there if you want. So these are like mini pickles. They're teeny tiny. So I think I'm going to do 3. I might do 4 after I cut them and see what it looks like. A lot of times we get the pickles that are like the full, and then I'll use 2. But these are really small, so let's see here. And I try to cut everything pretty small to make it bite size and not super, super chunky. I'll show you in just a second. There we go. So I keep it pretty teeny tiny. I'm cutting my fingers off. That's a weird end of. But with the tuna salad or chicken salad, you could do, however you like it. I know with my chicken salad, I actually don't, I know you could sub for the chicken in this one. I don't love chicken salad with this stuff in it. I'm more of the like walnuts, grapes, chicken salad type person. But having a salad like this on hand is just a nice, quick, easy thing to grab and eat for any meal. So it's nice to have it done. And it's healthy. It's good. I think that's probably going to be enough. I'm going to eat this pickle. Don't tell the kids. I've got our dill pickle in there. I lost my towel. I always keep a towel to wipe my hands off. Did they not cook?
Yeah, they did.
So these stayed extra. They're hard. So funny.
Peel.
I did these hard-boiled eggs the other day, the exact same time, and the yolk was like, you know how it gets grayish on the edge, and then this time they're like just barely cooked. But this is actually this is almost a little too underdone for me. For those of you who don't like eggs, you might want to look away because I know you get grossed out by the sliminess. And I just try to cut it up. Yeah, these were really undercooked. That's funny. So you just never know what you're going to get with your eggs. But usually I get a nice in-between.
They're this undone. It's really, really hard to peel.
Excuse me. I feel like you end up losing half of the white egg. And if you don't like egg, you don't have to put eggs in your tuna salad. You could just do
tuna
and yeah, mayonnaise and the pickles or relish. I know a lot of people like relish instead of pickles, which is basically the same thing. Don't get that big chunk of.
It's stuck in my hand.
No, it didn't. Yuck. All right, so I'm gonna get this other egg. Funny. Seriously, the eggs cooked the exact same way the last 2 times and they turned out completely different. So who knows? So go. You said she had to go potty?
She asked me to potty. Leo needs to go potty?
Kids and potties. Alright, so we've got that in there, and then we use a little bit of mayo. Again, you could do like olive oil or something if you didn't like mayo. We use the Sir Kensington, and just a little bit. I don't like mine super wet. Right there, and salt. Give that a good stir, and then like I said, that's another easy meal. Go to on crackers or toast or as a sandwich or on your salad or rice or whatever, however you want to eat it. But it gives you another nice option to keep in the fridge for the week. I'm going to check on the rice, yeah. All right, so there is our tuna salad. Like I said, I don't like it super wet, so it's just a little bit of mayo, but it is good to go. And if you were, since we're at home, we don't have to worry about like to-go containers or anything. But if you were prepping stuff to go to work, you could get some individual smaller containers and divide it now so that you had it ready to go. So let me move this up. I'm going to check on our veggies and our rice. The rice needs probably just 5 more minutes. And you can kind of keep it a little underdone if you're going to keep cooking it. Our veggies probably need stirred here in a minute. I'll get to those in just a second. I'm going to get some of this out of the way. All right, so we've hard-boiled eggs for snacks and for the tuna salad. We have cooked our rice and quinoa. We have roasted some vegetables, which are almost done. We've cooked our meat. We have the cookies ready. They're not cooking because, like I said, our oven was a little too hot and I didn't want them to cook funny. We've made tuna salad, and we're under an hour. We're good. Theo closed my computer. Let me pull this up real fast, and we can make a snap dip real quick. It's super easy. And it is good with like carrots and celery, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, anything like that, or even like pitas, if you like pita bread. So it's just Greek yogurt and a bunch of seasonings. So let me grab all of our stuff here. I'm actually going to use our handy dandy everything spice. So it calls for garlic powder, onion powder, dill, which I'll get, salt, Worcestershire sauce, and cayenne pepper. So let me grab our seasonings and then we'll get mixing that together. And this is a good one. If you had individual, like little mason jars or individual containers, after you made it, you could divide it out so you could take it with you to work. So let's see. Case, do we have Worcestershire sauce?
Where we're all at.
Okay.
You can use soy sauce.
Well, for that recipe, I
What
was
are you
gonna
getting-
use
making?
that.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna use the everything spice,
Yeah, you should.
and it calls for dill. What do you think about that?
I put some dill in
We have dill. I just
there. Yes, we
don't
do.
know where it's at. If you were dill, oh there it is, right in front of me. So what else do I need? Cayenne pepper.
Red pepper.
I know. Should I leave that out so Will will eat it?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to put soy sauce in it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. So I'm just gonna make a little bowl of this since we're home and we can make more later. I'm just gonna make it this. What do you think?
Yep.
So it calls for a cup. I'm probably gonna half the recipe. I'm just gonna wing it. Give me a spoon. Can I have a big spoon? All right. So I'm just going to, you know what, I probably will end up doing about a cup. So again, we get the Costco brand of Greek yogurt. Let's see if I can get it. This one is Willa's favorite. Use it for breakfast, just plain with strawberry or blueberries and a little bit of honey. She's a weird kid, like I said. She's weird stuff. Okay, so we're gonna put for half a teaspoon of dill. So I'm just gonna, a little bit of dill. We're gonna put a little bit of our everything spice. If you have all the seasonings on there, like I said, it's garlic powder, onion powder, dill, salt, Worcestershire, and cayenne pepper. Willa doesn't like heat. She thinks she doesn't, even though I think she really does. She doesn't like the idea of hot spicy, so we're gonna leave it out just so she doesn't get weird and doesn't eat it. So you just mix it up. And if you were taking this to go, you could put a little at the bottom of a jar, add some celery or carrots or tomatoes or whatever you wanted to snack on it. And it's a nice, healthy, it's got good protein. And you go with this snack. It needs, go with some plain salt. And you can, this one is so easy to tailor to whatever flavors and taste you like. All right. And look at that, we're at an hour and we have a whole ton of stuff ready to go for the week. Everything is nice and healthy, lots of options, lots of combinations, so you can change things up. This would actually make a good sauce, like a dip, like on a wrap or something. I think that's outside. Yeah, that's good now. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that be. So we are, rice is, it should be done.
Rice is done.
Okay, can we turn that off? So everything we have is gonna go in just a container in the fridge. The vegetables will go in one. Casey already put the meat away. We're gonna use that tonight. And then if you were doing the egg roll in a bowl, everything else you would want to do that day, because cabbage pre-cooked would get mushy, gross. So you have your meat ready, and then you would just start on this step after cooking your meat, and it would make it go much quicker for the rest of the recipe. We've got our dip as a good snack, or like I said, on a wrap or something. Cookies I will get in the oven. So that's the only thing we didn't get done within our hour time, which is a lot of great stuff. And so really my tip for meal prepping is to have a plan. So Casey and I talked about what we were gonna make. A lot of it is stuff we do every time we prep. So the rice or the quinoa and the vegetables, and the tuna salad. Those are pretty standard for us to have in the refrigerator. Broken toy. Kids are yelling. So those are pretty standard for us. And then I also thought about, before we did this video, how I was going to do them in order, because I don't always do everything at one time. And I was thinking about, okay, what do I need to cook first? I knew I needed the eggs because I knew I needed them for the tuna salad later. I knew the rice and the veggies could cook while we did everything else, so I knew those were next. So just take some time as you think about what you want to cook, figure out what order you want to go in, and how it makes the most sense, and that will help you not feel like you're scrambling and burning things and forgetting about things, and get it all done. So give yourself an hour once a week and get some stuff set up, and it'll help you throughout the week have healthy options available in the fridge. So if you have any questions, feel free to send Sarah or I a message and we will help you get started. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye guys.